constitutional questions. Article 21 of Liberia's constitution guarantees freedom of speech and expression. Article 20 guarantees due process, that no person shall be deprived of liberty without due process of law. Article 17 guarantees the right to a fair and impartial trial. This is fundamentally a due process story. First violation, vague and undefined offense. What constitutes offensive language under Liberian law? Where is the statute that defines this crime with clarity? If offensive is simply whatever a judge finds personally insulting, then the offense has no legal definition, only judicial discretion. That violates the principle of fair notice. You cannot punish people for breaking a rule they had no way of knowing existed. Second violation, the victim became the judge. If the Chief Justice was personally insulted, then he has a direct personal stake in the outcome. That creates what every legal system recognizes as a conflict of interest. There is a foundational principle in law, nemo judex in causa sua. No one should be a judge in their own case. When a judge is the victim, that judge must recuse to preserve impartiality. The Chief Justice did not recuse. Third violation, no trial, no evidence, no defense. The Supreme Court does not hear evidence. It is an appellate court. But this case began and ended at the Supreme Court. That means Prophet Key never had a trial. He never had an opportunity to present a defense, call witnesses, or challenge the factual basis of the contempt allegation. The Supreme Court simply declared him in contempt and sentenced him to imprisonment. Fourth violation, no right to appeal. Because the case began and ended at the Supreme Court, Prophet Key has no avenue for appeal. There is no higher court in Liberia. If the Supreme Court violated his constitutional rights, he has no remedy. These four violations compound. A vague law plus a victim judge plus no trial plus no appeal equals arbitrary authority, not rule of law. Why this matters now, this case does not merely affect Prophet Key. It sets a precedent that affects every Liberian who might criticize a judge, a public official, or the judiciary